Live?
Yes, we are live. We got phone. Larry Melnick is back with us there again. Grasshoppers. He's just completed some multi-million-dollar deals while we're waiting. Mel, how you doing?
Good. How are you guys again?
Excellent.
Hey, Tom, did he beg to get back on here or what?
Well, we were just talking. He's like crying, like but what he'd do is like he'd just be staring at you like a little puppy dog,
Yeah, I know.
Like so he wouldn't say the words, "Please let me on," but it was like you felt bad for him. And plus, after watching him beat up Dave Brown again like that, I thought maybe we should come out and spank us down too.
Yeah, I remember that. Fight.
Mel, here's Dave. Hold on. Here he is.
There we go.
What?
I'm downstairs in jail.
Wait, what do you got? What is it a little cold in there?
Yeah. No, I just got. I rode my bike over to the wine store today. I haven't thawed out.
Oh, okay.
Thawed out yet. So
maybe you got.
Unless you have a hair like these two guys, you can't be going around without covering up the melon.
It is a little frosty with nothing up there.
You look like you're frozen right now. Is it cold?
How are you, Larry?
Good. How are you?
Good. Is he our first repeat?
I think so. Yeah.
I was going to say I never asked to be invited the first time. Tom implied that I was going to invite myself. This is like Tom Selleck being on Letterman twice in a row. What happened? Like you couldn't find anybody else, or the Dave Brown fight was overwhelmingly positive, and everybody wanted to hear about it again.
Well, people did watch you back on the show. I posted that video of the fight. There's like 3,000 hits on it. People watching that. Mel watched 3,000 times himself.
Please let me back on. Let me back on. Jesus Christ!
He can do. Honestly, the way he performed that fight, he can do whatever he wants, as far as I'm concerned.
So Gresham on the computer.
Thanks. Well, a couple of guys I didn't say much about that fight the first time I was on, but a couple of guys asked, like, I guess, I was pissed off. The guy cross-checked me and knocked me on my ass in front of the net and embarrassed me in front of the Ranger faithful and our fans, right? And I didn't realize how passionate and how much they hated the Flyers, even more than we did. And, some of the texts or tweets or whatever you call it, guys are throwing beer at the TV and yelling and screaming and up in the blues and, high-fiving each other. I said, well, I just reacted. He knocked me over. I was like, what the hell are you doing, you big son of a bitch? So he reacted, and the reaction was to cross-check him all the way back up the ice. And then he said, he turns around, and I said, oh, shit, now what have I done? Right. And I don't know. I'd found out, I don't know how, we didn't have video. We weren't watching video, but I'd found out from somebody that he was left-handed. And I'm predominantly right-handed, but learned to throw left as well. And I just got lucky and grabbed his left arm. And he got a few in the beginning, and then I kind of got some. And then I was giving it to him a bit at the end. And I said, you know what, I better stop, because if I don't, he's going to come back at me sometime, or one of those other, as I call them, clowns is going to come back at me later. And probably from behind. So I let him go, and it was a good fight. But I look at, when you fight, like, you don't back down, but you go from, he should have beat the shit out of me. That would have been the going trend, because he's 5 inches taller than me. His arms are 60 feet long. And
now you're from New West, Mel. You're from New West.
That's true. So
what did you guys talk about at the end? You guys having a little conversation? What were you talking about?
Well, from what I remember, I just said, like, what the hell? You keep your stick down. You cross-checked me, almost like shoulder up on the shoulders, right? I said, you didn't have to do that. Like, the puck wasn't anywhere near us. And he just cried. I said, keep your fucking stick down, and, you don't have to do that. And I don't know what he said. I think I saw he had a bit of a black eye, which was good. So I did hit him a couple of times. And that was basically it, so, but then.
I showed the video to my the guy that owns the liquor store that I work at. He's not a hockey guy at all.
Yeah.
He's going, wow.
Yeah.
That was some battle. I said, the one dude's like 5 inches taller than the area on the right. So good job.
Yeah. Well, I think he had. There's guys, playing in the American League. You fight some of these guys that. They had 500 or 600 minutes in penalties at some point in time. They were fighting I think I'd met Brad May, who was in Buffalo at Dale Howarchuk's golf tournament, and he fought like 60 times in 1 year in junior. 60, like every day, every game they were fighting. And I think the most I had was 200 and some minutes in penalties, but like these guys were tough. So I fought some guys, like I said, I probably shouldn't have, but you pick your spots, right? You like a guy like Joey Kosher or Domi or Wendell Clark had the big haymaking bombs from downtown, right? So if you're susceptible to getting hurt or concussion, you might want to stay away from those guys.
Did you ever fight Kosher?
I never did. No.
He was like scary, right?
Yeah.
Pardon?
He had that big, he had that one punch that like would come from wherever. Oh.
I was I fought Larry Playfair. I didn't do very well against him. He was like 6'4" as well, but his brother Jimmy, I played with him down in Halifax with the Oilers system, and he fought Kosher. I fought Probert that game, and Jimmy fought. Probert. Jimmy fought Kosher, and Jimmy was doing really well, and then one came from downtown and just knocked Jimmy right out. We went upstairs, and back then, American League, we all went upstairs in Halifax up in the arena and had a few cocktails, and Kosher's hand was puffed up like it was, and I guess they found out later there was a tooth inside his hand. So he got a little bit of infection, and but in most cases, the guys, broken nose or whatever, but in most cases, guys don't get hurt. But I did find out from somebody that I think, didn't Brown break Jimmy Kite's jaw at one point in time? He broke somebody's jaw. Just
Grimson.
Yeah. So you go fight to fight. You never know what's going to happen, but at least you gotta show up, right? And,
yeah, like Gresh fighting his computer there. You finally won, Gresh.
It's very easy now.
Yeah,
that's the new computer.
You have kids.
Yeah.
It's a volume button.
So, Larry, I'd be curious now with, when you talk about, when we talk to young guys in the game today and they watch the video or you talk to them about how the game was played, they kind of look at you cross-eyed, right? Like it's just, it is so far out of the element. So, but there was a certain, I don't know if it was machismo or whatever word you wanted to do. But would you have rather preferred? I think most guys would have preferred not to have to do it, right? I mean, or
how many guys really like
to do it whenever you had to do it? Maybe it was different.
Well, it depended on the mood you're in. I guess, like, to be a Grimson or Brown or whoever else, like all the real tough guys, the guys that only got 3 or 4 shifts a game, to do that every night, there's no way I'd want to do that.
Yeah, right.
But when you get in a certain mood, like when I got traded to New York and the first game was against the Islanders, I didn't sleep that day because I knew I was going to go fight somebody. So you get prepared. Right. And I think, if you're having a bad game or you're in a mood or whatever, and you chop somebody and you can't, if somebody punches you back, then if somebody pushed you or punched you or did something to you, either you got them then or you got them at a later time, but you didn't let it go. And that's, going from New Westminster, where we beat the shit out of everybody, to go to Boston. And then you had Cashman, Wensing, Secord, O'Reilly, Jonathan. And if you didn't back your guys up, like we talked about Middleton and McNabb and the Peterson, the guys that were scoring, you had to have some guys that were, tough.
Right.
You had different echelons of toughness. You had the crazy, you had the average, and then you had me at a, light heavyweight. I played anywhere from 188 to 200 pounds, depending on how many M&Ms I ate that day. And but I guess that answers the question.
Yeah.
And if you're having, like, if I was down in the American League and I didn't want to play, well, I get into I'd spear a guy or get into a fight and get 15 minutes and just sit there, go to the next game.
Yeah.
Do you see with the NHL or just come back to the Players Association, ask for more money back if they want to go play?
My dad kept the scrapbook down in the Dave. Gresh said Dave made $250,000 his first year in New York, right? Well, I'm down in the American League making 19 grand, and my dad kept a scrapbook. I got like 10 scrapbooks. Every time I got suspended, I butt-ended one guy. I got a fine. I got into a stick swinging with another guy. Got a fine. Well, the fines were $25. You know, if you did that now, like first of all, you get suspended for 20 games, 30 games, a year. I don't know, but guys just don't do it. And then there's still even with doing the butt ending and all the chopping, there was still a certain amount of respect back then.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Listen, you and Tommy wasted more money on pucks than you guys did on fines.
Like,
just laying in the weeds there, just waiting for his moment, right?
Sleep. I didn't know.
We already went over this, Gresh. Like, our outlet passes were always good.
Yeah.
The less time we handled it, the better. So quick passes, right?
That's one of the best things you need to learn as a defensive defenseman. The less time you get the puck on your stick, the better.
Our best games were played when we never touched the puck. We just did our chopping and hacking.
Gresh, speaking of which, Gresh, remember the first time you played against the Russians?
Yeah. Yeah.
First game I played against was in junior in like 1972.
No, 70. We played twice in 73. And
you never had the puck, right?
Pacific Coliseum.
Right.
We end up losing. Was that the Pacific? Pacific Coliseum. We end up losing 2-1, and then we played them back in Edmonton at that old Edmonton Garden, whatever it was called back then. We play them in there, and we end up. Jerry Cheevers is our goaltender from the WHA, and we end up beating 8-6. But the ref, we had Tiger. Tiger was on that team. We had who else on that team? Mike Rogers, Danny Gare, Dennis Sobchuk, Gillies, and the referee put the whistle away.
Yeah.
I swear to God, I never felt sorry for a team ever in my life before. They were getting.
That was the thing, right? You never had to. I remember playing in junior. Our junior team wasn't very good in Kitchener that year. And then we brought in Dennis Fairregard, Reg Stum, 3 guys from London. Andy Spruce. Anyway, but you couldn't catch them. Like, they had the puck and you couldn't catch them. So anytime you got near them, you just take a swing at them and stick them.
Well, listen to me. Tiger.
First one.
Listen to me. Tiger was just kabobbing them like that, right? They were like flying all over the place. The referee was going like, ever.
Yeah.
I mean, there was probably like, could have been 40, 50 minors in that game.
Yeah. I remember that. They were, I remember they're so good. And I remember the first time they came out for warm up and start skating around, their body odor, right? Like they were washing their equipment or anything like that.
Hey, remember in Prague?
Yeah.
The train? What was it called? That tram, whatever you call that thing above ground? We went to the hotel in Prague down to the rink. We jumped on the train, and they were all standing like this on the train. Holy Jesus Christ! Somebody get the spray on the Lysol. Get back off the train. Couldn't go on the train.
Does that mean is Kotze Russian?
Greek Russian.
Remember Kotze got in a scrap. We were out in the West Coast. He got in a scrap. Remember on the bus, his hand all swole up? Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, whoever he fought, I guess he hit. We talked about the tooth, right?
Tiger Williams, yeah.
Some infection or something got in his hand, and
yeah. But you got to be smarter than that. Let's see else do the fighting.
Like Mel. So Mel, what we were talking before the show? You're having a hard time with your knee?
Yeah. About a year ago, I had pain, just not excruciating pain, but just there was a pain, and it went away, and it came back this year, and I went for X-rays, and my doctor phones me and says that you've got chronic arthritis. I think we all have that to a certain extent. But he said, listen, we'll try and postpone the knee replacement as long as we can. But when you're hobbling along trying to get up and down the stairs and you can't really do much, it's time to probably go to a specialist. So I got an appointment December 1st, and we'll see what happens. But 61, they say that's too young to have a knee replacement, but I'd like to be able to walk.
No. Go get it. I had my right one done, Larry, 2 summers ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I was supposed to have the left one done too, but the left one doesn't bother me nearly as much as the right used to.
Yeah.
If you do the rehab, like we're all, I mean, that's the thing, that your tolerance for pain, right? I think on a relative basis, our tolerance for pain is probably a lot higher than other people's. But I would highly recommend it.
Yeah. Well, a normal person would probably chop their leg off or be in hospital, but yeah, we're getting them by. Did you have injections?
Yeah, I never had the injections. They used to, I think at one point they gave me a shot of cortisone.
Yeah.
I used to get drained. And then, so I asked him, I said, well, when does a replacement become an issue? He said, well, when your quality of life, if you can't sleep, or if you're a golfer and you can't even get in a cart and golf, so that was basically it. I would highly, and the thing too is now the mechanics, like the components of the knee, they last for like 30, 35 years now. So at 61, shit, you can live to your 90 and you still be fine. So
Dave, getting that knee done, did that slow down chopping things up on a golf course? Or?
No, swing didn't with it.
Got nothing to do with me throwing. I used to be a pitcher in baseball, so my arm is still strong.
Yeah. So
you're a pitcher.
Gresh has got the hip deal going. I said, Gresh, go in and have him take a look at it.
I'm waiting until they have this code red everywhere. Like they're like, it's like they're like, okay, wait till next week. Okay, so I'm going. Now I'm going. Day before Thanksgiving, next Wednesday. Going in to look at it. But by that time, I'm gonna get them both done.
Yeah. You can go to Home Depot, maybe get some light bulbs too, so we can see you.
I don't know what the hell, Tom.
You get the light bulbs in the lamp.
Oh, what?
Yeah, you just don't sit them on the counter.
I knew there was a catch to that.
Yeah.
Are there no windows in that condo?
What?
There's no windows in that condo?
We can see each other's front door. Some scary things there.
Yeah, that's scary.
Yeah.
On these curtains.
So, Dave, what are you doing for Thanksgiving? You stay around home?
Yeah. Well, unless something comes up, we decide to get in the car and go somewhere.
Yeah, no kidding.
So I think it's been great. Like we've been down to South Carolina, North Carolina, Florida, up to Canada. So there's the traffic, when we went to South Carolina and drove down to Hilton Head, that was in May. There was, nobody on the road. Traffic. Yeah, no, your question be around, yes.
What's the article where Braden Holtby can't get into Canada because his pet turtles can't get across the border?
Yeah, they don't have the papers, right, for the 2 turtles.
What? Who are pet turtles? I mean, I don't want to insult anybody. If they have pet turtles, it's a great thing. But
these things, these guys now, they've probably got hundreds of thousands of dollars invested in these turtles. That's like Burns, right? The guy in San Jose, like he's got all
the snakes.
Yeah, he's got all kinds of these exotic turtles. Can't get them across. Don't have the right papers. Wow.
Paperwork for the turtles.
You put them in like in a home.
Home or the turtle zone.
The soup.
No, the thing is too. Like if he started busting his chops, right? He'd probably get insulted because the turtles obviously mean a lot to him.
Really?
Across the border.
Like, you think you can train turtles? You can't train a turtle, can you?
I don't know.
Just like tricks are like
turtle race. They never lose a race.
Yeah, 24 hours I read he was stopped at the border. He was held up at the border for 24 hours.
It was like,
those turtles would be there with me.
If he's still at the border, you'd be gone.
Standing on the front of the Titanic.
I think that's what I understand. His wife left him there at the border, and he stayed at home. He stayed at the border with the turtles.
So Mama took off?
Yeah, that's what I understand. I don't think that's the right thing to do. If he's staying with the turtles, everybody should stay with the turtles, I think.
Yeah.
Mel, you would have done that, right? If we were teammates and I was going to get across the border with the turtles, you'd stay with me, wouldn't you?
Yeah, that's a good answer right there, Mel.
He hesitated.
And
I would ask me to do, Tommy.
Anything? Okay.
You're the vet. I was just the kind of the rookie, so I would have whatever you did. You were my partner. I stuck up for you. Whatever you needed.
I like it.
Yeah.
So we get a lot of defensemen on here, right? It's like defensemen all the time. Is there something about that more intelligent
Or just
Right.
nicer people, I think.
You ever seen a smart forward?
Good point.
You know,
Okay, so Gresh, I got a question for you. When I get traded to New York, who asked you or told you to go from defense to forward? How did that go transpire?
oh, I don't remember how that. Well, what happened was I the summer before I had my shoulder all redone, right?
Yeah.
So, and Barry Beck had his done the same time, 85.
Did Eddie Mio too?
He's probably in the surgery with us, but I don't remember. There's probably 3 cuts in there. Anyway, the doctor, it was a doctor, I think it was Dr. Nisason was the guy that operated on my shoulder.
Yeah.
So he goes, don't do anything, like don't lift nothing up, don't do anything for like 3.5 to 4 months, because they tied everything back together, right? So I didn't do anything. I did absolutely nothing. I went to movies, 5 movies a day in Manhattan. Went to a few cocktail places, and then and Barry Beck Bubba was lifting weights after 5 weeks, 6 weeks, light. Wow. And then he got hurt again, and mine came out like it gets sore once in a while now, but it came out like really healthy. So then, like when I got to camp, I wasn't in very good shape. So who was the coach? Ted Sater, I think it was. Yeah, he wasn't very pleased with me, put it that way. So I got into shape, and then I think I missed the first couple of games. I didn't dress the first 2 games of the year. And then he came to me one day. He says, "You want to play forward?" I said, "I just want to play. I don't care where it is." So I played forward for a bunch of games. You know, I liked it. I didn't. As long as you were playing, who cared where you played?
You know? Rich, how was that first week? How was that first week back on the ice after 4.5 months of 5 movies a day and a couple of cocktails?
Oh my God. I tell you one thing. Well, it wasn't as bad as when I got hurt back when Herbie was there. Small little rink upstairs.
Right.
Holy jeez! I never knew a half an hour was 3 hours long.
Yeah.
He would skate me. I go, Herbie, can I get some water? The guy was too dedicated, you know.
Yeah. And Mel, did you ever play with Eddie Mio? You know who he is?
No. I met him after the fact doing the hockey in Harlem golf tournament. So him and Johnny Ogrodnik and I went back to New York for a couple of those golf tournaments. So
we give Eddie a hard time because Eddie liked to hang out with the big shots on the team. So Eddie had a hatchback car, and so it was Bubba, Gresh, and Dukes all jumped in the front seats of Eddie's car, and Eddie had the back hatch open up with his legs sticking out the back in his car. So and unfortunately, the whole team was sitting there watching it too. So that's a lingering moment we can remember. That was funny.
Well, Eddie became really good friends with Gretz too somehow.
Was his best man, wasn't he?
Yeah, he wasn't the best
Yeah,
man.
they played together in World Hockey, right?
Yeah.
Oh, way back. Yes.
That's what we went back to. Yeah.
When you see him again, Mel, call him Potato Head. He likes that.
Does he? Okay.
Yeah.
I just put him on friend request, so we'll see.
Yeah. Nicky Fatillo likes pie face.
Yeah, pie face. Tell him to Gresh to say hello to Potato Head.
Yeah. I'll do that.
Oh boy. Yeah.
Hey, Dave, somebody just asked a while ago here. I didn't get the question up. How's Don, your brother, doing?
Good. Really well. He's in Scottsdale now. He's got a place in Calgary also. So he's, I don't know, he's the vice president of hockey operations or something with the Flames. So, like everybody else, just kind of hunkered down, but he's good. He's good.
He's still in Arizona? He still lives in Arizona?
Yeah, he's got a place in Arizona, and he rents a place in Calgary during the winter. The last 2 winters, he's been out there, so he's doing well. If he never had to come back to the East Coast, that wouldn't bother him at all. He really likes it out there.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. He's doing well.
Where did he buy in Arizona? In Phoenix?
Scottsdale.
Scottsdale? Yeah.
Yeah, right. He doesn't play much golf. I mean, he's I think he's right on Greyhawk or one of those courses out there.
Yeah.
But he doesn't play much golf. So.
What, are you going to place down there, Mel?
No, my brother does.
Oh, is that right? Where's he?
He's in Gilbert, Santan Village. My brother Paul, he said, he's the reason why I got into the NHL because I shot pucks at him. He was the goalie. So I had to mention him today. But yeah, he bought a place when the prices were really depressed. He went and he was in bought down in Gilbert. So
lucky shooting the puck.
Yeah.
Pardon?
Lucky for him, it was you shooting the puck.
Is your whole family got the same personality you do?
No, they can't. They can't.
I don't know if it came from my mom or my dad or my grandfather, to be honest with you.
Can you imagine those family reunions were all together?
There's not much said. There's not much said at the family reunion. My brother was the brains. He's got a master's in pharmacy, so he was the brains, and he said that mom and dad didn't support him like they supported me in his sports endeavors. But I guess he was a pretty good athlete, but I don't know. I picked hockey, and I played all sports, and so did he. But you have to pick one eventually, right? So,
is he older or younger, Larry?
He's 5 years younger.
5 years younger.
Yeah.
You just have one brother?
Yeah. If my mom would have waited a few years, my salaries would have tripled. But anyway,
yeah.
It's her fault.
Yeah.
Dave, what do you have, like 12 brothers or something? What do you got?
Oh my God. 3 brothers and 3 sisters. 7 of us. Yeah.
Oh.
Don was third in line. That's what Don used. He got the third down hand-me-down skates.
Right.
So I got the brand new skates. My brother Bob wore them next, and Don. So Don probably never had a pair of skates that fit him until he was junior or maybe pro.
That's why he uses his feet all the time because he couldn't skate on the skates. He had to stand on one spot. Yeah. Stick out on his feet.
Yeah, fun.
Did Bob ever play in hockey? Was he did he go far?
No, he was he was a football player, a wrestler, and then he ended up playing rugby. He was out at Simon Fraser actually, out in out Larry's neck of the woods. Played football for a year out there, and then backed it in. And so he's a doctor in Sault Ste. Marie up north.
Wow.
So it's good. Yeah, he's good. Good man.
So if you hadn't played hockey, Mel, what would you have been?
Good question. No idea, because I didn't like school that much. It's like hockey. I had to try really hard, very conscientious, would study my ass off and just be average. So, no, from the time I was 12 or 13, that's all I wanted to do. And I told everybody that would listen that I'm going to the NHL. And in my junior high yearbook, they said, what are your life goals and your aspirations? Says, well, I'm going to play in the NHL. And what one of the girls wrote in is, actually what you're going to be is a Zamboni driver. So I had to prove her wrong, but other than that, I don't know what I would have done.
Maybe that's why you're such in a bad mood all the time out the show.
Well,
looking back at that yearbook.
Yeah.
Well, everywhere you go, you get knocked. Right? Someone says, well, you're not good enough. You're not this, you're not that, which reminds me, Dave, you had asked me about Sather and, how I got along with him. And I just got the reason I got traded to New York was I was down in Halifax, and there was 3 or 4 of us that wanted out of Edmonton. We had just won the second Stanley Cup, but there was Gordy Shervin, myself, Billy Carroll, who had played on the Islanders for a bit, and then Mark Habscheid. And there was 4 of us that wanted out. So I get sent down to Halifax, and I got into an argument in one of the games with one of my own, with Bruce Boudreau, actually. They call him Gabby because he's
right?
Freaking yipping it. So he was yipping after one game, and I just laid into him. And Larry Kish was outside the door, and he said, brought me out, and he said, Larry, I'm sending you home. I said, what the hell for? Because I yelled at a guy it was just so. About 2 days later, there's a big article in the Edmonton Sun. Melnick goes AWOL. Can't find him, don't know where he is, blah, blah. In the first paragraph, it says, Sather says Melnick's not big enough, tough enough, or strong enough to play in the NHL. We don't know what we're going to do with him. So I get on the phone and I call him. I say, what the hell did you say that for? He said, well, that was taken out of context. It was at a bar and the guy wasn't supposed to say anything about it. I said, well, obviously I'm never going to play for you again. And then that night there was a radio talk show, and it was John Short was one of the guys on the show, and they were talking about how I went AWOL. I said, well, no, the team sent me home. So I phoned into the show and I set the record straight. I said, those assholes sent me home. All I want, there's 3 or 4 of us that want out. And back then you'd get called up on emergency waivers. Remember, emergency, so you go up for a week, guy gets hurt, comes back. Like, it's not like today where you have to clear and there's a lot better movement. So we were all pissed off and we were just getting used down there. And so I set the record straight. I said, no, I didn't go AWOL. I'm right here. They sent me home. Now get me the hell out of here. And that's when I got traded to New York. So
wow.
So maybe that girl that wrote in your yearbook was related to Sather or something like that.
Yeah.
I remember her name to this day. Yeah.
Maybe she was just grumpy too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you get knocked down, you get knocked around. What do? You sit and take it, or you fight back? And that's for whatever reason. If it was my grandfather or my mother or whoever, just taught you don't stand up for crap like that. You do something about it. So I did.
Well, boy,
what was the question, Tom?
What's that?
What was the question? I forgot already.
I don't know. I think we started off asking, what you do if you didn't play hockey.
There you go.
Yeah.
And it's funny because you look at it, hockey's only, like, you guys were lucky enough to play in one place for, almost your whole career. Well, you take a look at, I think I was in 13 different towns and cities, from Erie, Pennsylvania to Moncton to Baltimore, all these little Springfield for 2 weeks and 2 weeks, 2 weeks. And, and playing 3 games in 2.5 days in the American League, riding on a bus and getting the shit kicked out of you, you tend to get a little grumpy.
Now we know how it all started.
Yeah. I'm glad we started this. This is like a little therapy session here. So did any other girls ever say anything bad about you?
Any other girls?
Yeah, I just want to do a little therapy session here, find out where this was all coming from.
This is the on the couch part of our show here now.
I like this, right? So we were kind of joking around saying you're grumpy. Now we're really realizing that you really are like a.
I would throw my hat. I would say he's got reason to be grumpy.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I've been treated like that.
Everybody has issues. I have some issues.
Reason. I mean,
yeah.
Around
13 different stops you had.
Well,
I mean,
like out of Boston, I mentioned the last time, Boston was so cheap. They only had 2 or 3 guys in the minors, so they'd hook up with somebody. So after New Westminster, I went to Bingham for 2 weeks. The next year, Boston was in Springfield. Then they were in Erie. Then they were in Baltimore. Then they were in Hershey. And Edmonton was in Moncton and Halifax. So I just went from I know more of the East than pretty much anybody. So you wake up in Hershey, Pennsylvania, you know what you're smelling, right? Chocolate. 7,000 people. That's where they make all the chocolate bars.
You get sick when you smell chocolate now?
Well, so that's why my weight fluctuated from 188 to 200. All the chocolate I eat.
I remember in Hershey, Gresh, you probably didn't make the trip to Hershey because you were in American League. But the bench used to open onto the ice. The old Hershey product.
We went through. That song was playing Rockin' Robin or something like that.
That was in Richmond. Yeah. Did you make that trip to Baltimore?
Baltimore, Richmond, Syracuse.
Norfolk.
Last game was in Syracuse.
Yeah. Yeah.
John Muckler the day before told me, "You'll never play. You'll never play in the NHL."
And Gresh basically held onto the puck for the whole next game. And, Muck might have been wrong. Was Muckler in Edmonton when you were there, Larry?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Him and Teddy Green.
He was my first pro coach.
Yeah. They were outstanding. Him and Teddy Green, they were the brains of the – Muck would do the power play, penalty killing, break down tapes, and Teddy was head of the the defense, and they were really good. And Sather was the motivation, right? But he had the guys, and Muck was good at telling. He was the technician at that time, and we didn't really watch much video. I think we started when we played the Islanders in the first Stanley Cup in '84. We started to break down their tendencies and things like that, but video wasn't really that big back then. So
yeah, they were just getting in. That was my last session with Herb Brooks, right? Was the video session I had with him. So first of all, the video they put together lasted about 3 seconds, and then he said, well, you're not doing this, you're not doing that. Look, there's a mistake, there's a mistake. And I said, Herb, in all honesty, if you're looking for mistakes, Gretzky makes mistakes. He says, yeah, first of all, you're not Gretzky. And I said, well, secondly, like, if you don't want me here, then that's fine. And 2 days later, you have to call Buffalo bound. So, but the video, you can't hide. Now they video practice.
During the game, you're watching the iPads on the game too, or in the bench.
Sure, you can't hide anywhere now.
That's way too much.
Right?
How do you do that one when the puck's being shot back to you in the blue line, right? And how do you videotape that one so you know how to change that when the puck bounces over your stick and the guy goes for a breakaway?
Editing.
Yeah.
You have to edit that one.
So let's get back to Mel real quick. Do you have any bad dreams or anything like that? Like, do you have recurring dreams or anything?
Dr. Tom?
Yeah, he had a dream of driving a Zamboni.
That's right. Dude, let's get into this. Yeah, that's probably right. Do you have a dream?
Yeah. Driving a Zamboni and ended up married to the girl that posted the thing. No wonder the guy's grumpy.
And the girl that wrote it in there,
Yeah.
Mel married her so he could punish her for the rest.
No, do you guys ever have, like, I have dreams of because, like, in New West we didn't get our own sticks, right? We barely remember little Larry Dean, little Nig. Yeah. We barely had a stick. Like, we had our equipment washed once a week, I think. We barely had sticks to play with. So one of the recurring dreams is I'd get into up into where the stick rack is, and I'd grab a stick and it would feel real good. And then when I went to go play with it, it felt like it was a spaghetti noodle, and you go to snap the puck and you're playing with a noodle.
No, I got a stick here from back in New West.
Do you?
Yeah.
Wow. I don't even know what we used back then. It was whatever he could come up with.
Oh, there we go. Gresh will be back in half an hour. Gresh, 20 minutes.
This is an aerobic workout for Gresh.
The show's over in 20 minutes, Gresh. Hurry up.
20 minutes.
Yeah. Now
You feel better, Mel, talking about this stuff? Because you've had a hard life, it sounds the same. She didn't have hockey sticks. Girls were picking on you.
It's tough, yeah. It's tough being me.
But at least we can talk about it, right? Amongst, and nobody else is listening either.
That's right. Well, I'm glad you brought that up because I had no idea what we were going to talk about. Like, I took notes again, but obviously we're way off that track.
We don't. We're rambling.
Yeah, we just ad lib.
Okay, I said before, Dave, did you see where the NHL went back to the Players Association and asked them to take a pay cut?
There you go, Mel.
Wow, look at that.
That's from the 70s?
That's from the 70s. That's my last year junior.
Wow. Save that, Gresh. That's classic.
I got that one, and I got this one from the 73. I don't know if you can read that or not. 73 All-Star game.
wow.
In Medicine Hat. Lysiak, McDonald. I think some of the guys have signed it, but the signatures they were in pen, and they're gone.
Well, you played when there was black and white TV, right? Saturday nights?
There was, well, in my hometown there was. I mean, you know what? My uncle Joe, he's watching this today, in good self, and he had an operation for cancer and everything, but he feels great.
Good.
He was a big hockey fan. Still,
Good luck.
Yeah, Uncle Joe.
Uncle Joe. Joe Gresh.
He always makes sure.
Is that one of your dad's brothers, Gresh?
My dad's youngest brother.
Yes, I remember him. Big man.
Yeah, and he always made sure the beer was cold and there was lots of it.
There you go.
Important.
That's where you got it, Gresh.
Yeah, well,
Joe.
tree. I'll tell you that for all my family.
You know, maybe we could do this all the time. Like have this be like kind of would you call it, Dave, like on the couch?
Yeah, the on the couch segment.
Yeah, I like that. So like take 15, 20 minutes for the guests and kind of analyze them.
Yeah. Word association, you know.
Yeah.
More like under the couch.
Mel, you don't break out in any cold sweats or anything like that? There's nothing.
No, I'm good. Yeah.
Yeah, no fear of animals.
I think breaking through. I almost saw a smile.
How about you have any fear of turtles?
I laugh at you guys every Thursday.
You're not afraid of any turtles or anything like that, are you?
No, not afraid of anything.
This Hopi's coming with his turtles.
Turtle soup.
Yeah.
I was in Venice once at this big Richie thing, whatever it was called, for I was with my first wife, and we were sitting down, and I'm sitting next to this lady. I can't speak Italian, obviously, so I go to her. What kind of soup is this? Pigeon.
Pigeon soup.
Right there, the fork went, the spoon went right back in there, and there's no way I was eating pigeon soup. I lived in New York. I saw what pigeons do.
Wow.
Turtle soup is right next to the pigeon soup, just exactly.
Yeah. I like that.
Pigeon soup.
Oh yeah, it was good. I had one mouthful. Ate for a month after that.
Pigeon.
Hey, how's the intermittent fasting going?
Mine?
Yeah.
I did it 6 days last week, and I didn't do it last night.
Okay. All right. We want progress, not perfection, right?
It's no, it's I like it because I mean, it's kind of like I hate to be nice to Tommy because he's on here. If he was off here right now, I would say something nice, but I don't want to do that.
Dave, you're still doing it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. I think it opens it makes your brain more aware, your mind, your head.
But I don't know if it would work with Mel. You imagine Mel hungry, he's bad mood as it is, and now the hungry thing going.
How many hours do you go without eating?
16 hours. Stop eating at 8 o'clock at night and don't eat again until noon. Is that you, Dave? Is that what you do too?
Yeah, I go 7 to anywhere from 9 to 11. Yeah. Well, you minimum 14 for me.
Right. So that should be a requirement to be on the show too. Mel, you need to start if you want to be a regular here, you got to start intermittent fasting.
Yeah.
Does that mean no drinking?
What's that?
Does that mean no drinking?
No, doesn't mean that.
Oh.
Just
I could try that then, but I have to have a beer at 3 o'clock. It's happy hour.
In the morning or night?
No, afternoon.
Yeah, you can have beer. You can have beer in the afternoon. There's nothing wrong with that.
But during your fasting.
Oh,
But you can drink.
Well, no. So you don't eat from 8 o'clock at night for 16 hours, so noon, or in Dave's case, he goes from 7 to 11.
You don't have to tell me that twice. I heard you the first time.
Therapy's working.
Back.
They see we've helped them. It is a miracle.
I do listen.
Well, I wasn't worried about the listener parts, that you actually were smiling and like you it seemed like there's like life. Just the thought of intermittent fasting, because the fasting kind of regenerates the brain cells as well. So
and God knows we need help with that.
Yeah. I think this maybe his brain cells got destroyed there when that girl insulted him.
Might have been the 10 concussions too. How many concussions did you guys have?
Right in that range.
Yeah.
Can't remember. I was hit too many times.
Yeah.
I know I got one.
Fergie was a long way from your heart or taping aspirin to it, right?
Yeah.
I know I got one from Semenko one time.
Yeah.
That was a good one. I woke up and I was like, did Gretzky go around me? No, Semenko went through you.
From being hit or punched?
No, I was cutting behind the net, and Steve Vickers was back checking in front of Semenko. So I see Steve, and I kept on going. Steve let up.
Oh boy!
I'm guessing Semenko didn't.
Semenko let up. Oh yeah, but he was almost on 8th Avenue though. That was the only problem, and I was on 10th Avenue.
Yeah.
He was a big boy. He could hit hard. Hey.
I remember I got caught right when I was playing for Buffalo or playing Edmonton, and I got caught flat-footed right just at the blue line in front of their bench. Remember the old odd? and Messier flattened me. So I'm going down, and they're all leaning over the bench. You old bastard, you're done. You're finished, you old prick. And I was like 28. Right? 28, an old bastard. I guess it's time to move on. So, but he hit me. Yeah, that was not good.
Mel, you okay there? Did we bother you there?
I was just looking at my notes, thinking what I could come up with.
No, you're good. This is all about you, Mel. Don't worry about your notes. I mean, we feel like we're helping you here. There's a lot of people behind you here too.
Do you have anything after your name, like PhD or DR, or just did you learn anything at Michigan?
Yeah, it's Northern Michigan. We call that the Harvard of the Midwest.
Well, somebody said you did not really receive a what do you call it at the end, certificate or
Degree?
Pardon?
No, I had to leave and get to play. I had to leave and go down and play in New Haven in the playoffs, so I didn't graduate.
He got a diploma. I saw him pick it up in Windsor, Ontario one night.
Gosh, how many times did you say, listen to me, you only said it one time today.
No, twice.
Did he say it twice?
Yeah.
What?
Listen to me.
I'm not saying it right now.
We're going to get T-shirts made up.
Yeah. But he's getting off that Windsor subject pretty fast, huh?
I don't mind. I can't remember. I don't remember all those things.
Tom, put it this way here. You need more than one bag.
It's not be derogatory.
So, Tom, now that you're also cooking, what's up for Thanksgiving next week?
Well, I love my Thanksgiving. So I make the homemade turkey, stuffing, potatoes.
So the standard meal.
Go over.
Yeah. And Gresh might come over too. I don't know.
Well, I might. I've been here for 4 months. I should go over there pretty soon.
I mean, it's going to have to happen. I'll cook it and I'll have to deliver it to him. I have to put it in a little Tupperware and take it over to him.
Chop it up fine too.
Yeah. That's right. A blender for you.
Just a little jack on the rocks.
No, we're getting off the jack. Told you we need to clear.
I got this one bottle left. I'll drink that and I'll start over on something else.
If you're going to drink something healthier, like some clear tequila or vodka. Right, Dave? You look at the liquor store. The tequila or vodka is the healthiest way to go, isn't it?
Yeah, tequila.
Yeah.
Tequila's the best. Although, you get good vodka.
Listen, there's not
Actually, you know what? Is that a keg? It's a keg of tequila. It's a keg.
That bottle right there is probably $110 here in Canada.
What's that? No?
That big bottle here in Canada is probably $110.
Oh, is that right?
The liquor price.
That's another reason to be in a bad mood. Cost more money to buy beer.
I paid 40 something for it.
That's why I'm still working, Tom.
You love work. You get to deal with people. You're a people person.
That's right.
There is a breakthrough. Holy shit.
I know, doesn't he? He looks better. It looks like he's got more life to him now and everything.
He does. And you notice, Mel, that Tom's wearing black today? He must have lost that white shirt he had and the red one. He had a gray one.
That was kind of a salmon colored shirt I had on before. That was nice.
Yeah.
One of my favorites.
Yeah.
Mel, did you hang that jacket up there, the Ranger jacket? That's not always there, is it?
No, Muttley's jersey was up last time. Remember? Little jersey? Yeah. So that's just a reminder that my care package is on its way from Ron.
Not from me. Nothing from the Rangers is coming from.
That was a month ago. So
when you get it, don't start laughing how it's addressed.
I could imagine.
Yeah.
Dave, what are you guys eating at your place, Dave? You build a turkey and stuff?
I think I might order a Harrington's ham. I'll cook up some sweet potatoes, maybe a sweet potato casserole.
How many people are we allowed in Connecticut?
What's that?
How many people are we allowed in Connecticut?
I don't know. It'll be just my wife and my youngest son and I are the only three. My kids will come over the night before with their grandson, and they'll come over the night before. Then they go to their mother's on Thanksgiving. So I think night before we might just do pizza or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's that, Gresh?
Tom can make pizza also. It's good.
Pizza.
Yeah. But anyway, on Thanksgiving Day, is there like a quota on how many people you can have in your house? Or
6, is it 10 or 6? Okay.
Yeah, I think it's 10. I thought it was 10. That might even got lower. I saw they were saying like I saw this morning that they don't want anybody traveling. They don't be going anywhere. So
Well, see, this is just for a question. I want you guys to give me your answer on this. Say there's a house, right? And then you're gonna all go to this house, but say there's 10 people that own 10% of the house. So are you allowed 100 people?
I don't think it goes by ownership, Gresh.
Their house.
it's their house.
You're
So,
allowed,
yeah.
right?
So if you were going to a house that you have 100 people. Gresh was always a numbers guy, right, Tommy?
Yeah, definitely.
Always a numbers guy.
Yeah, because they were going like, okay, if you have a house, you're only allowed 10 people. But what happens if 10 people own the house? So you're allowed to have 100 people.
Good point. Valid point, Gresh. I don't think they covered that.
No, they should though.
Yeah.
They should. But then
So you talked before, Tommy, about them, the owners coming back and looking for more money.
Yeah.
So what do you guys think about that? So they agreed to a certain degree, right?
Yeah.
Right.
I don't think they can survive any other way. They have to come back and think. There has to be like less money for it.
Right.
Yeah.
Depends on a lot of fans. Depends on things like. I mean, you do all the games now. You know more about that stuff than we do. But I think they have to have. It depends on the amount of fans allowed in the building. If there's gonna be.
Right.
Yeah, but they have to tie it to revenue, right? I mean, if they're not getting enough revenue, teams are going to lose. There's no fans in. The estimates are that some teams are going to lose $80 to $100 million if there's no fans in the building, and the players want all their salary.
Right.
So,
Are they not trying to have at least 1/3 of the building or a quarter?
but that's not up to the NHL though. That's up to the cities, the local
Right.
government.
Right. New York, this one here right now.
Like
Yeah.
the states, right? And states, and then Canada has its own, crossing the border, right? You can't cross the border. I mean, you have to cross, you have to quarantine. So
Basically, just like baseball was. They negotiated one deal when the pandemic first started. Then they realized, wow, it's way worse than we thought. So then they had to go back to the players again.
right.
And I guess the next question is a reduced schedule too, right? People are talking about 52 games or 48 games.
Well, you'd have to think there would be a reduced schedule. I have a hard time believing if they don't, they have that. And then there's the talk about the Canadian teams staying in the same division, right? Because the Toronto Blue Jays had to play their home games in Buffalo, right?
Yep.
So
that way,
with the NBA getting started December 22nd, I don't know that I've heard about the fan involvement or read anywhere, but they have a plan to get going. So I'm sure the league's keeping an eye on that.
yeah. And the difference is there too, right? The revenue from television is a lot different. Than
Revenue, right.
But you see, so the numbers are way down for all the sports. Like the Masters had like 50% or whatever viewers that they normally get for the Masters. I guess all the sports are like that.
Yeah, I mean, I find I've been watching a little more football than I normally watch because I'm around a little bit more. But it's just, honestly, I with any sport, I don't get the same sense when there's nobody in the building, even just watching it,
You wonder, like, have we changed our lifestyle too, that we're just not sitting around watching TV as much? Had enough of that? Much?
We're sitting around watching more TV, but just different kind.
So it is?
Yeah.
I haven't had my TV on.
I think a lot more family stuff than before. Because when you're always working, you're traveling, doing different things, you're not around your family as much, and that's just the way it works. Now it's like they're, I think. I mean, I love seeing my kids, and they come and stay with me a lot, but I see them more than I ever did before.
Yeah.
right.
Mel, you okay, Mel?
Yep. Well, my kids live with me, so house prices the way they are in Vancouver, and they're just finishing school and that, so they'll be for another couple of years anyways, and then they can hardly wait to get out. And
Boy, the housing prices are off the chart, right, Larry, out there?
Ridiculous. What you get for, I was emailing back and forth with Gresh, and I guess he doesn't know what his condo is worth or townhouse is worth, but you get a 2-bedroom here townhouse for $800,000. My house is what 3,500 square feet. I paid 440 grand for it. It's 1.6 million. You know, so it's not like people just can't afford it. And then the teachers, and how do teachers and just people can't afford to live here. It's just ridiculous. Yet they're building and building. It's crazy. And like everything like New York now, everything's going up. Every little community like Coquitlam, Burnaby, Vancouver, 10 or 12 high rises, and it's just getting so congested. So there's got to be an out somewhere.
I'll tell you, looking for
an out. Pardon?
This pandemic is putting New York back on the back burner. Manhattan, for sure.
Wow.
I mean, I read yesterday that they don't think that might be up to 5 years before the economy recovers.
Yeah.
With
cold again.
Maybe.
Right.
A lot of people have moved out, and a lot of businesses that I know, and a lot of people that I know that own buildings, the occupancy is down 50, 60, 70%.
Well, my wife works for Amazon, and she was commuting into the city, and they stopped in March, and they're not even going to think about bringing people back till June 2021.
Wow.
So you think of all those buildings that have all that office space, and now, Zoom and different technologies out there, and it'll be interesting to see how it all plays out. But that's where guys like Gresh will probably continue to make money because he's in there swooping up buildings.
I'm
that's
like,
why you can have that big jug of Jack Daniels, Larry.
Mel asked me how much these condos are worth, Tommy. What do you think they're worth if they were on, like, whatever? I don't even know. I don't know what they'd be.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it got to be 700,000 or 800,000, something like that. Yeah.
How much?
700,000 or 800,000.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You better buy 3 of them if you get over that.
We're in the poor part of town, not where Dave is, right? Like Dave's.
That's right. Over by Dave's would be more.
Dave's like,
how far is Dave from you guys?
A mile.
It's a whole different world there.
Yeah. There's a border right there. It goes like, okay, Dave lives on this side, Tommy on this side.
Yeah.
Prices a house.
Yeah.
Because they got one of those palatial estates with the big grass and the fence.
We don't know that. No. We're not invited. It's a gated community. Really? So we don't know what it's like.
Yeah. Must be nice though.
Hey, Larry, you're invited. I'll get your information. I'll have you next time you come to me. You're invited.
I have to get back.
No, if you go to Dave's house, then we can all meet up in front of the garbage dump over here where we always meet.
Yes. You know what we didn't? We didn't do our Costco trip either. We said we were going to go to Costco, and you guys bailed on me.
I was at Costco on Tuesday. I went in there.
Back on. Mel, is there a Costco in Vancouver?
Oh, of course.
There's one right at the rink. There's one right at the where the Canucks play.
Yeah. Oh, really? No, there's one in every area. Like this, there's 3 million people here, Tom. It's not a small town.
Well, I didn't know if it's, So maybe we'd do like a virtual where the 3 of us here in Greenwich will go to the one in Portchester, and then Mel, you go to the one in Vancouver. We'll video it.
I go to the one in Port Coquitlam, which is about 12 minutes from me.
Okay. Is it a multi-level or is it all in one level?
One level.
Ours has got the multiple levels here. It's nice.
With an elevator?
Well, an escalator.
Escalator.
It has the elevator, but also an escalator.
Elevator too, right here.
Yeah.
I have to.
Now we start talking about going to Costco and going to the town dump. Oh man.
I know. We'll make a day of it. We'll go to the liquor store. We'll go to the dump, and we'll go to Costco.
I'll need a few days for the liquor store. I can't drink that today.
Gosh, if we try hard enough, I mean, don't say can't.
Try it. I mean, listen, I'll give it a good shot, but I don't know how long I can. But anyway, yeah.
There was
how far are you?
There was a guy, Alan from yesterday did a little. He asked me why I wore number 30. Well, when I got traded to New York, they didn't really ask me what. I don't even know what numbers were available. I think Ledger just got traded, so they gave me number 30, and I didn't complain. I didn't ask if there was other numbers or anything. So they gave, and I think myself and Chris Nyland were the only non-goalies to have that number at the time. So I don't know what they said to you or how you got traded, Tommy, but I got called into Mikkel Bergeron's office up in Rye. And he says, and I was playing pretty well at the time, I thought. I get called into the office, and he says, Larry, in his broken French, he says, why do you wear number 30? I said, that's why you brought me in here? I said, because my mom likes the number. 4 days later, I got traded.
You should write a book, Mel. It's just how to win friends and influence people. That's what, seriously.
My mom likes the
I was just thinking we were starting to make progress.
We reverted back. And I'm still, to this day, Tommy, I'm still pissed off that they traded you, and I'm pissed off that I got traded out of there. So how do we end? We'll end on that.
All right. Well, listen, I think hopefully we've helped you a little bit, Mel, and maybe some other people watching out there have been helped as well. To see that you don't have to just stay the way you are. You can try to improve yourself and get better mentally and physically.
under the couch.
Yeah. So Dave, what do you think? So Dave, we're gonna have like a 15-minute segment every time on.
Well, it could be another 15. We just on the couch, and then we'll have Gresh do under the couch.
Yeah.
He's got that big bottle of Jack sitting right there.
We should bring Eddie Mule on one day and do 15 minutes on him.
Oh God. No, that's an hour and 15 minutes there. That's a lot of work.
It'll never work out because I can't say anything about what Tom did to Eddie, but
I didn't do anything to Eddie. We've had a lot of mutual friends. That's all.
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
Some are even female.
Well, Mel, listen. Do you want this to be a regular thing? Do you have to you just gonna whine and cry all the time? Or do you want to be on all the time?
I can come on. Sure, I'm available every Thursday.
But don't get so excited about it.
Bring that smell, Mel. Don't matter to me.
Yeah.
All right. So Mel's gonna be a regular.
That's good. That's good.
Thanksgiving, everybody. We already had Thanksgiving, Mel. But anyway, Mel, that was a great fight you had. I got to tell you, I watched that.
Tommy, you negotiate his contract because I tell you, I watched that fight. I'm not getting involved.
We got it. Well, we'll do a little barter system here. We'll help him with the psychological issues, and he can be on the show.
You know that, Mel?
Sounds good.
Fight. I remembered like it was yesterday, and I'm going like, holy shit! And I don't remember like. In real life, it didn't look as good as it does like on the tape. You dinged him on the tape a bunch of times, and now I know why he stopped. Anyway, that's all I got to say about that.
That is good.
Next time, guys.
See you guys.
Thank you.